Let's start right off with something we've all done. You're scrolling online, you spot a really cool phone case for what, maybe €2? You click buy, and a couple of weeks later, that classic, slightly mysterious gray plastic package just magically appears in your mailbox. For us, the consumers, it feels pretty much like magic, right? We just click and forget. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that magic. Welcome to part 1 of our New Explainer series, breaking down the 2026 EU customs reform. We're going to look really closely at how this new reform, which kicks off in July 2026, is going to completely turn everyday online shopping on its head. If you ever order from outside the EU, and let's be real, pretty much all of us do, you absolutely need to have this on your radar.
So here is our game plan for today. We're breaking this down into 6 exact chapters. First, the 2026 e-commerce revolution. Second, the 5.5 billion package problem. Third, how tech giants become customs agents. Fourth, the real consequences for consumers. Fifth, the Canary Islands tax exception. And finally, Chapter 6, the future of global shopping. Let's get right into it.
Starting with Chapter 1, the 2026 e-commerce revolution, the end of click and forget.
Okay, let's dive into this. Like I said earlier, buying that €2 phone case feels totally effortless, but what we don't see is the absolutely gigantic, hidden logistics machinery that fires up in the background whenever we order from platforms like Temu, AliExpress, or Shein. So what exactly happens in July 2026? Well, the short answer is a total paradigm shift. The EU is basically ripping up this seemingly simple system and rebuilding it from scratch. We're talking about a profound transformation in how direct imports from non-EU countries are handled. This isn't just, a few extra forms for some merchants to fill out. Actually, scratch that. It's an absolute revolution of the entire direct import system.
Moving right along to Chapter 2, the 5.5 billion package problem, why the EU is intervening.
So why is the EU stepping in so aggressively right now? Why pull the emergency brake? Well, it all comes down to the sheer, unbelievable scale of the situation. Look at this number, 5.5 billion. In 2025 alone, almost 5.5 billion small packages arrived in the EU directly from China. Billions, with a B. These are all e-commerce items flying under that current €150 duty-free limit. To really put that into perspective for you, that averages out to roughly 1 package a month for every single citizen in the EU. That is just a staggering volume of stuff, isn't it?
And that massive volume highlights exactly why the system is collapsing. Our traditional customs infrastructure, it was built for a time when this extreme mass import simply didn't exist. Now, sorting centers are literally buckling under the weight of this flood. Doing physical, manual checks on these packages is just impossible now. And because of that, the EU is facing some major headaches. We're talking unfair competition, a flood of dangerous counterfeit goods, and huge data gaps. Get this, the EU Commission estimates that up to 65% of all these small shipments are misdeclared, usually just to dodge taxes. Think about that. An infrastructure where nearly 2 out of 3 packages are essentially lying about what they are. It's just not sustainable. So politicians aren't treating this like a minor logistical hiccup anymore. It's a full-blown structural crisis. The EU is quite literally slamming on the brakes to wrangle this market back under control.
Which brings us to Chapter 3. Tech giants become customs agents, the system overhaul.
So how exactly does the EU plan to fix this mess? As you'll see, the mechanics of these new rules fundamentally shift the burden of responsibility. It's actually kind of brilliant. Under the old system, it was a simple chain. A merchant sells a product, a carrier transports it, and customs physically checks it at the border. The new system totally flips that script. Moving forward, the platform itself has to collect the data, and they assumed full legal liability for following the rules and managing the customs process. These digital marketplaces are being dragged right into the center of responsibility. If an item is on their site, they have to ensure it's 100% legally watertight. We're basically seeing large tech giants being transformed into the extended arms of European customs authorities.
And to make that work without slicing open millions of packages by hand every single day, the new process relies entirely on data. Comprehensive, perfect electronic data is required before the goods ever even land at a European airport. They're banking everything on automated risk analysis. If the data perfectly matches up beforehand, the package flows through smoothly.
Now let's look at Chapter 4, real consequences for consumers, how your checkout changes.
Okay, bringing this away from the macro scale and right down to our wallets, what does this mean for our shopping carts? We are definitely going to feel the friction here pretty soon. First up, the checkout process is going to change. We'll likely need to provide way more data when we buy. Second, and this is an absolute game changer, the EU is killing the €150 duty-free limit. gone. That means standard fees are going to be slapped on even the tiniest shipments. And third, you can definitely expect longer delivery times or finding out that certain products just aren't as uncomplicated to get your hands on anymore.
Let's be brutally honest here. The immense bureaucratic and technical costs of all this compliance, the platforms aren't just going to swallow that out of the goodness of their hearts. No way. Those additional compliance costs, along with any new flat rate levies, are absolutely going to be passed down the line. And who's at the end of that line? Us, the consumers. That super cheap shopping spree from the Far East? Yeah, it's about to get noticeably more expensive.
Let's move to Chapter 5, the Canary Islands Tax Exception, a geographical edge case.
Now let's look at a really fascinating geographical complication that shows just how strict these new IT rules really are. The Canary Islands are a perfect edge case. Geographically and politically, they're part of the EU customs territory, but they are not part of the harmonized EU VAT area. Instead of the regular Spanish VAT, they use a special indirect tax called the IGIC. And because of that, this unique tax throws a massive wrench into this whole idea of seamless automated data collection.
This is exactly where it gets incredibly risky. Remember, platforms are now fully liable for perfect data and tax payments. So edge cases like the Canaries create a gigantic headache. It's highly likely that some platforms will run the numbers and say, you know what, adjusting our massive IT infrastructure for this comparatively tiny market just isn't worth the compliance risk. The result? They might just cut off the Canary Islands entirely. Residents there could face severe delivery restrictions simply because the math doesn't work out for the tech giants.
And finally, Chapter 6, the future of global shopping, the end of the Wild West.
Obviously, there are still some unknowns about exactly how these giant platforms will implement everything in practice by July 2026, but if there's one thing you take away from this explainer today, it's perfectly summarized in this quote. The time when you click for pennies on the internet and millions of uncontrolled packages fly under the radar around half the world is definitively coming to an end. That uncontrolled era is over. E-commerce is about to become heavily regulated, completely data-driven, and for sure, noticeably more expensive.
So that wraps up our first big overview of the fundamental changes coming in 2016. But remember, this explainer is just part 1. In the next installments of this series, we're going to dive much deeper. We'll take a closer look at that fascinating Canary Islands situation, and we'll break down exactly who the ultimate winners and losers of this massive reform are really going to be.
But until then, I want to leave you pondering this one massive, overarching question. Will this customs reform actually save fair European trade, or is it just going to cut us off from the global market through pure, unadulterated bureaucracy? Think about it, and be sure to catch the next part to figure it out with us. Catch you next time.